Relationship. So whereas it me, definitely because I'm 54, my husband's 56. He's been a truck driver for 34 years. I've been a government employee for over 20 years. So there was more bending that needed to happen. But interestingly enough, to your point, you made a very good point because technically, I've made more money, but my money is my money and his money is the house's money. So he takes care of so but again, because he doesn't care, he to this day, Shan, I don't even think he knows how much money I make.
It don't matter to him.
Issue. Exactly.
It don't matter to him.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Shout out to BGS. BGS is somebody I really admire and I follow on YouTube. I've never really met him formally. I just kind of follow all his videos. So I'm glad to have him here. What's up, BGS? I appreciate you pulling up, man.
Hey, what's going on, Shannon?
It's good to have you here, man. What's your thoughts on this, BGS? Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. This is something there's two books I always refer back to this. The End of Men by Hannah Rosen and The Richer Sex by what was her name? Liz Monday, right? Okay, this is not accidental. This is intentional. And from 1972 on, they planned for women to actually put women in leadership positions and ask for them to actually be breadwinners of their families. Okay, this is not accidental. Okay, and they actually trained women and men, supportive men for what we call aggressive PhD women. Okay, because for any person, okay, say if you're a PhD or you're a corporate guy and you're working 65 hours a week, you can't be at home. Somebody's got to be supportive and be at home, right? So for women to take a man's role, they have to have men to come in and fill the role that the women aren't at home with, right? So in school, they trained women to be in a man's role. There was a whole thing from the ground up, the whole women's movement from the ground up, from 1792, right? When Rousseau wrote the Rights of Men, right, to actually give universal suffrage to men. Women wanted what the women's movement at its base level is to have the same rights and privileges as a man. Period. Right. Okay, that's what it's about. And for 100 years, they've been progressing up the line to make men and women equal in roles and eliminate. How come you don't have any gender roles anymore, right? The first thing in 1972 that feminists want to do is eliminate all gender roles. So you have just like most women don't call husband and wife, right? Even my daughter, right? She's 30. She'll be 33, right? I say, what do you want in a husband? She doesn't want a husband. She wants a partner. Partner between a partner and a husband, right? A wife is a role, okay? It's a traditional role. A husband is a traditional role, okay? Now you have women wanting partners. So what you have is you train from the time that you're in 5th grade with Disney princesses and all this so-called kick behind women out there that you see in media to take a man's role. So now that you become, you get your degree, you get in corporate, you get your corporate job, you're making your 6 figures, and now you're working 60, 70 hours a week. You can't be at home. You need a man to be at home. But the thing is, the man that you need, which is a supportive guy, you don't like because your biology telling you don't like him. But the thing is, that's the man that you need at home. So the guy that is at home taking care of business, paying the bills, watching the kids, all this other kind of stuff that he needs to be doing, cooking meals and stuff, kind of stuff that you need, you don't want. And that's the problem. And what Hannah Rosen and what Liz Monday, and there's another chick, that book I have to read, says the same thing. It said the feminist movement cannot go any further unless these women accept these supportive men. That's the problem, why PhD women are having this psychological breakdown and can't find the man that they want, because you weren't designed to have this man, because the jobs that you took were supposed to be your husband's jobs, right? Okay, people think that this is an open abundance. No, the universe is a zero-sum game, right? It's called balance. Okay, you cannot have all these corporate jobs for women without taking those corporate jobs away from men. You can't have all these six-figure women without taking these 6-figure things from men. And there's going to be men that don't have those 6-figure jobs because those jobs are taken. The women's jobs are supposed to take those guys. and you're not. And that's like we have families broken, and that's like we have women that are not confused. They know what they're supposed to be doing, they just don't feel like it. And a lot of guys, men know that when you get as a husband, you can't do what you feel like. Okay, you can't do what you feel like. Okay, you don't want to work 60, 70 hours a week, come home and 80% of your check go to your family and to your woman, and she's, you know, she's at home with the kids and you're grinding. You don't want to be that. They'll say, like a truck driver, you don't want to be out on the road 22 days a month. Okay, you want to be at home, but things you got to grind to make that money, and you bring that check
That's
home,
what we
and she's got to be at home taking care of business, taking care of the household, because that's her job. Okay, and she's got to accept it. And the thing is, if women want to be kick-ass, be PhDs, make $150,000 a year, you have to take that man that's supportive. If you want a family, you have to.
Well,
you have to like it. Yeah, go ahead.
Can we put the toothpaste back in the tube? Because
No,
now that they've succeeded in their mission, and now that we got these women, we got these independent women out here, and now these women are waking up now they're waking up 35 and older with no men and wondering what the hell's going on. They want families now. They want babies now. You know, like on Lead Attorney's channel, she didn't even want nobody to know how old she was, but we can gather how old she was, and she's accomplished. She's an attorney, no children, and she says she wants to. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Look at this. Okay,
she said she is right now. She said right now. TLA asked her, "Will you give up your career?" To get, she said, "I'll give it up today." He said, "Would you move?" She said, "I'll pack up tonight." She's ready, but she didn't have that mindset 20 years ago. So my question to you, BGS, is: is it going to get better for women in the future?
It'll get better for women in the future if they change their habits. Okay, it'll get better for women in the future if they accept. If you want a role, you have to accept the role. Okay. If you work hard and you put basically and you accept a role, you accept a leadership role, you cannot renege on it. You can't say, no, I want a guy that's better than me to go lead. No, basically no. You put yourself in that position. There's only so many spots in that top 5-10%. It's only so many spots. Okay, you're gonna have to accept a man. You're gonna have to marry down, just like men marry down. Okay, how many $150,000 guys marry $300,000 woman? He's going to marry a woman that makes 30, 20, 30, maybe 15. Okay. She might have an AA degree. Okay. She might even have a bachelor's degree, right?
Because I tell the story all the time.
He's trained to marry down. If women want to carry through with their feminist training, they have to be trained to marry down. They all say it. All the planners, the second wave feminists actually planned this from 1968 all the way out, have planned this. You can read more than Title IX. They planned this, okay? And with the problem that they're having right now, and that's what I read in 2012, because they had what they call equity, right? 33% of the families that were household led were by men. 33% of the dual households were equivalent, were equal, and 33% of the households were actually women are actually breadwinners. That's equity to them, and that's perfection for feminists, right? What was the problem? The women that had a supportive husband didn't like them. Don't like them. Okay, no, but my biology says I want a man to lead. Okay, but you've been trained for a leadership role. Okay.
Yeah,
you've been trained for.
She don't like the beta guy. She don't like the guy that's doing everything. Doing everything and catering to her. She don't want him.
She don't want him.
TJ had one. TJ had one of those. She had him for 4 years.
And her biology.
She got sick of him
because a woman's biology is selfish. Okay, it's to acquire resources, not to give resources, because she gives resources to her offspring, not to her man. Okay. And I've said this a lot. I've said this, and sometimes people agree, and sometimes people disagree. Right? For a man in a marriage, there's only two spots. Right? There is no partner. You're either a husband or you're a child, and that's the way women see it. There's something, because women see something I have to take over as a child, and she's going to put you in that position, and she can't respect you as a man if she sees you as a child, and that's the issue. How can you nurture overcome nature? Okay, and that's what's crashing right now, especially with the upscale chicks and the PhDs and the 6-figure chicks. Okay, nurture is crashing with nature. They've been nurtured to be leaders and breadwinners and leaders of the household, but their nature says that's not what I want to be. How do you rectify that? How do you rectify that without crashing the whole system? Because we have 50, 60 years of building this structure, okay, by pushing men down, by literally pushing men down and forcing them and training them to be supportive. And now that they're supportive, and they said, okay, you know what, to have a woman, I'll go ahead and be supportive and I'll fit in, okay? Even though it's not quite my nature, but I'm going to do the best I can. Now you got a woman that's making all this money, and you can tell, women think that men can't read your face, and men don't have feelings. They can't read your vibe. They can tell when you look at them with disdain or you look at them with less than. They can tell. And that's like we just I think Kevin just had a chick on, and she was an attorney. She didn't like the alpha guy because she was trans. She didn't want to take the supportive role, so she married a supportive guy, and basically she was so disdainful to him. He left. He couldn't take it. He bounced.
Yeah.
After 2 kids.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll leave. Sometimes the beta guy will leave because he's getting punked around so much.
Beta guys, if you're not respected, that's why you think the biggest, even if the woman will keep a guy because she want to keep her family together, the biggest problem she has is a guy cheating, because he's going to have to find some kind of masculine respect from somebody, right? He's going to have to be nurtured. Sir. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I could go on, but I've been talking about this for years, and I've read the literature, and this is intentional. And in this culture, it's going to have to figure it out. You know, either the women are going to have to accept their role, or the women are going to have to take a step back. It's one of the two. There is no in between. I'm sorry. Go ahead, TJ. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go real quick, TJ. I want, before you go, TJ. I want Fawcett Media. My guy Fawcett Media is in the crowd. Fawcett, cam up, man. Pull up. I'm glad to have BGS here. I need everybody to click on BGS's name and click on TJ's name. Both of them have dope channels. I subscribe to both of them, but I don't want to be the one subscribing to them. I want you guys to subscribe. So make sure you follow BGS and make sure you follow TJ, both of them, please. And then Fawcett, I want you to pull up, man. I want to hear your point of view. Go ahead, TJ.
Well, you know, it's interesting, BGS, because you make a very good point, because I did not look at it that way at the time when I dated the guy, I guess, that we considered beta, because I loved him and he loved me. But what I hated, and it's something that I created, is that I had to do everything. Well, I did that because that's how I started, as opposed to, you know, letting or having him do it. And so, and maybe that was his personality, and it was okay at first, but then and like Shan said, until it wasn't. Because I said to myself at one point, just because I can do everything doesn't mean I want to do everything. But the truth of the matter is, the mindset wasn't even right, because I really can't do everything. So I really can't do everything. So it took me a minute. And like I said, you know, that's another reason I did my channel, is because I did a lot. I had a lot of failure. And if I didn't get my mind right, you know, I would have missed the love of my lifetime. And here's the thing, you know, and this is something I want ladies to hear. And you make a very good point, because I have the degrees and I, you know, military accolades or whatever. And when, you know, me and my husband, we met online, and he actually saw me before I saw him. But he didn't reach out to me. So when I saw that he had looked at my profile, and I went to his profile, and then I actually said, you know, reached out to him. So when we were talking and everything, I said, well, I saw that you looked at my profile. Why didn't you reach out to me? He said that he didn't think that a woman, like, you know, after reading my stuff, that I would have been interested in a truck driver. So we put
everything that you led with.
Everything that I led with.
It's class mismatch, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't think that, you know, and so I think we unintentionally do it because, like you said, Shan, we're taught that these things will make us marketable to men, but it didn't. So, you know, had I not took that, you know, I reached out to him, I wouldn't be Mrs. Randolph today. But again, we lead with the wrong things, and we could be missing the love of our lifetimes.